welcome back to another episode of Tech Sheck. As I've always brought you very cool and interesting concepts from the Pakistan ecosystem, we are getting close to episode 100. And with us today, we have a very unique play for Pakistan. We have Mr. Omar Shah, the co-founder and CEO of Colabs. Omar, welcome to the show.
Hi, great to be on board. Thank you for having us.
Well, it's always a pleasure learning about unique and new concepts. And with that, Omar, I'm going to hand it right over to you, Tech Check style. What is Colabs?
We started Colabs 2.5 years ago as a pure play sort of co-working space. In the last 2 years, what we've built out is today we actually act as a support for the Pakistan ecosystem. So we are managing about 700 to 800 people, 80 to 90 companies. We don't just provide co-working spaces. We actually have our own accelerator we're building out, providing companies with HR, payroll, any company wanting to come into Pakistan. We're sort of a 360 solution. Our goal is in the next 24 months to open about 5,000 seats around the country. And the next 5 years, we'd actually like to open 100,000 seats all around, not just Pakistan, but go into other markets like Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Egypt, because we really feel in these markets, when companies are starting up and someone comes out of university, a startup coming into the market, they don't have the base level support of starting up. They don't have the network to connect with local market in the industry specialists when they're sort of coming out from university and school. They want to start a business. If they want to go set up their own office, the cost is super high. So we act as that sort of central support system, and we try to service everyone in the full spectrum. We have the freelancers, we have the startups starting up from sort of a 2 to 4 person team, the SMEs, and the very, very large enterprise clients like Rocket Internet, USAID, Microsoft, and all. So the idea is to put them all under one ecosystem, and yeah, that's what we're doing.
That's fantastic. Very, very interesting. So, first question that comes to my mind, and we've obviously seen a ton of this activity in North America. How do you manage and acquire the real estate so it's cost effective?
I give you a bit background. I come from a real estate family. My
Okay.
family's done real estate in Pakistan for 8, 9 generations,
Oh, wow.
and we were zamindar, hai, like we're old landowners. So we actually understand real estate pretty well in the market. So typically in the market, if real estate is acquired between $1 to $2 a square foot, which is about 150 200 rupees, we're actually acquiring it between 60 to 70 rupees. We go and
Okay.
lease an asset. We take a long-term lease, maybe 10 to 15 years.
Right.
We put in the collabs essence, which is sort of our co-working, our private offices, our meeting spaces, our event spaces, and then we bring in what I call it's the community and the network. So today we have about 80, 90 companies that's inside collabs. But on top of that, we have about 100 partners, all the incubation centers, the VC funds, the government, all these community developers, and everyone together is what we call the collabs ecosystem.
Very cool. So, and on that basis, so who is your in primary customer? Where is that revenue coming in from?
Our primary customer are startups
Okay.
because startups, when they are growing businesses and scaling businesses, they don't want to spend capex on real estate or
Sure.
typical offices. So we act as that aggregator, the support, because we help them along the journey. As an example I can give you is someone like Sada Pay. They came to Pakistan. I mean, we
Mhm.
helped them hire their first person. We started them off with 2 people. Today, they acquired the management of 3 offices from us. So, as part of a startup journey as well, someone who is growing from a team of 5 to 20 to 60, I mean, Collabs is there to support them, and not just in giving them office. We do payroll, we do HR,
Okay.
we help them also get clients because I mean, through our different networking events and workshops and trainings, we sort of built this ecosystem. So outside of the incubation centers, you actually have a facility like ours, which is doing all of that.
Very, very cool. Okay, interesting. And that leads me to another question then. How are you addressing, or is there competition?
Yeah, there is. So I give you a bit of background. We launched Colabs back in January 19. January 19 was when I moved back to Pakistan.
Right.
June 19 was when we launched. In the last 2 years, when we launched, I think there are about 120 co-working spaces in the country.
Oh,
But there
wow.
were only about um, 10 of them that had a capacity more than 100 seats.
Okay.
We launched our first flagship facility with 350 seats. We were
Wow.
the largest in the country when we
Okay.
launched.
Okay.
Today, we have our competitors. They've done a great job. We have Kickstart, the Hive, Daftar Kwan, Regus. But they've been around for maybe I would say like 5 6 years. We've only been in the market 24 months, and 24 months today we have close to about 1,000 seats. We're about to open our third facility. We have a team of about 120 people. The idea for us is we really wanted to go up in scale because we our idea was that we wanted to service the enterprise. So like clients like Rocket Internet who have 100% team, we manage their payroll, we have private offices from them as well, but also the freelancer. And what's very, very interesting is we sell our co-working below the market price and at cost because we want to attract those freelancers that will come in and sort of act as that aggregator inside the system. So what's very interesting at Collabs is, I mean, you'll meet someone who's setting up their own NFT, someone, 6 companies doing fintech, two of them doing buy now pay later, uh, someone doing graphic design. So you find all sorts of people inside the ecosystem.
Very cool. No, that's really interesting and unique. So I guess if I'm understanding it correctly, you're not just relying on the actual space rental. You're providing a lot of ancillary services to help these startups grow as they take on funding and pick up steam.
100%.
Awesome. No, that's
And we
great.
also we also connect them to sort of, I mean, to our partner network. For example, I think Maria reached out to you as well. uh, a core part of our team is from the National Incubation Center. They were working there before. The core part of the team is to help the startup sitting inside our space. Because if you look at other markets like Vietnam or Singapore or Indonesia, or Egypt, everyone has co-working spaces. If you look
Got it.
at Pakistan in 5 years, today India has about 2 million seats. I
Mm-hmm.
think Pakistan has less than 60,000 or 50,000 seats, or even less than that
Got it.
officially. But the idea is as the spaces grow, it is the network and the community which will differentiate the space. Anyone can sell a seat today for $100 or $150. So I think differentiating factor for us and what we focus on is that community factor of how we can support and act as that facilitator to the community.
Awesome. So where are your key locations right
Now, we're primarily based in Lahore. We have 3 locations in Lahore. We manage about 1,000 seats
now? Okay.
across these 3 locations. In the next 6 months, we're going to open in Islamabad and Karachi. So the
Okay.
idea for us is to open about 5,000 seats in the next 18 months, primarily in KLI, which is Karachi, Lahore, Islamabad. And then, I mean, phase 2 will be going into smaller cities like Faisalabad, Sialkot, Gujarat, Hyderabad, Pindi, and that's sort of as we sort of grow as well. That's what we're trying to do.
Awesome. Great. Great. And I guess the other question that I had relating to all of this is any success stories we've heard of that have come out of collabs?
Of course. I mean, I still remember. I mean, for example, uh, there's Day Trades raised $4.5 million.
Okay.
Sada Pay started with literally. I remember meeting the founder of Sada Pay here, helping them hire the first person, and today there's about $7.2 million. Abhi Finance sits here. I mean, if you look at the startups that sit here today, uh, it is Dastagir as well, which is sort
Okay.
of doing
Very
B2B
cool.
retail.
Yeah.
Uh, so today, 20% of the companies raising capital or going towards part of the journey, when they leave an incubation center or an acceleration center, or they come in, they need space. Not, but they don't just need space. They also need a network, right? Because they need to
Yep.
get their name out. They want to be connected to the market. They want to know what's going on. So we try to act as a facilitator, which is a private enterprise. I mean, that's why I think one thing we talk about and we're trying to focus on is collabs, your gateway into Pakistan. I remember speaking to someone at Swivel when they were entering Pakistan 2 years ago, and they said that in Nairobi it took them 14 days to set up a company. In
Right.
Pakistan, it took them 82 days.
Yeah.
So the idea is like collab should be the one working with the government, trying to facilitate startups coming in, so
Got
we
it.
can act as that central sort of body that sort of connects them to the government and takes that forward as well.
Awesome. Well, this is fantastic, Omar. Not only are you doing a lot of enablement and doing some great things to help the ecosystem, but looks like there's a really profitable venture behind this in the future. So, first of
Yeah,
all,
I
I
mean,
want to
hopefully.
thank you for coming out.
Yeah, very welcome. Thank you for having us on board, and we'd love to sort of have you on board as well on one of our panels or one of our talks.
Absolutely would love to join you guys. As you know, TechSheck is all about enablement, trying to bring a positive and good image of what's happening in Pakistan. We are challenged as a nation. We have had challenges, but hey, everybody does. And all we're trying to
Yeah,
do
yeah,
is
of
move
course.
forward in a positive way. So with that, thank you again, Omar. Really appreciate the time telling your story. Fantastic. We wish you the best in terms of success. Seems like you're well on your way.
I'm glad.
And to our audience out there, as you can see, we continue to try to inspire and build trust in the stories that are coming out of Pakistan. And as you could see, we've had a lot of unique plays being developed in Pakistan that are helping our country and our people get to a better place. So with that, please continue, like, share, and subscribe with our content. Folks, I have had almost 100 episodes come through. What does that tell you? It tells you something's going on. So pay attention, keep driving, keep helping. And with that, I bid you all Allah Hafiz.